What's going on, guys? This is Schady here, and today I am bringing you my PPL Week 8 battle against NecroStevo and the Eterna City Enders. So a couple of short things before I get into this match. First of all, PPL is the Pokemon Premier League. If you don't know what that is, check out all the links in the description to their YouTube, Twitter, etc. To keep track of what's going on with the league. Basically a draft-based Pokemon league for people who don't know. I will endeavour to leave a link to the team builder down in the description so you can see in more detail what I'm bringing. I'll go over that briefly before we start anyway. And links are also down there to Necro as well as all the other coaches we'll be playing. Also shout outs to Titos for the thumbnail layout thing for this season. Sorry, layout was made by me, the thumbnail template was made by Titos, so yeah. The last thing before I get into this match is I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but I'm a little bit sick at the moment. And I'm feeling really shit all day, so that's not fun. Which means my next battle I might get a replacement coach in. I have to see how I feel. I was meant to battle Sly today, but that's not happening. And lastly, I'm sorry about how late this is. I got my team builder up just after we battled, so that was on Tuesday my time, which is a pretty late time to battle, but you know, these things happen. And then I had a lot of issues getting this match recorded, so sorry about getting it out so late. But, you know, we do what we can. So, looking at the teams, I have brought a speedy Life Orb Latios with a fair amount of bulk investment because that's all it needed for his team. A mixed defensive Ordino with a slightly more of a special bias, mainly to take on Mega Abomasnow. An Assault Vest Tyranitar, pretty much purely for Chandelure. A Mold Breaker Choice Scarf Excadrill with enough speed to outspeed Rotom or Chandelure. Rotom is what I aim for. A physically defensive Hazard Stack Crawfish, and Flame Charge Life Orb Ember. Looking at Necro's team, he did not bring any hazard removal this week, and I brought Hazard Stack, so I am going to do that. However, I'm worried about him leading potentially with the Rotom Wash, or even like Slowking or Abomasnow and Crawfish not being a great lead to start out with. So what I decided to do is lead off with my Latios. I'm going to start the match. Lead off with my Latios to try and bait out Clefable so that I can start stacking up hazards with Crawfish. So you can see now, Necro is issuing a challenge. He actually decides to lead off with the Pangoro, which isn't great for me because I don't like this matchup, but I do switch out straight away. A Draco is a chance to Oko, but that's assuming his max HP, no Assault Vest. I didn't know if it was Assault Vest, Scarf, etc, so my safest switch is to go into my Crawfish because after the Intimidate doesn't take too much damage from anything, unless he's like banded. And he switches out into Clefable, which is the other thing I was expecting with the Latios. So I'm able here to get up my first layer of spikes, just to start getting things worn down a little bit. He goes into his Rotom. Obviously Rotom and Clefable, if Clefable's Magic Guard, won't be getting affected by my hazards, but everything else is going to get worn down. So here I have no reason to stay in with Crawfish. I still want it around to get up all my other hazards. And if he's offensive, I don't take a Volt Switch or a Thunderbolt. So I go into my Latios, and the calcs show me that this is max special attack, probably Timid. I believe it could have been Modest, but it would have had to be like a max roll. So I was assuming if max special attack Timid, maybe a Scarf Rotom. So he brings back in the Pangoro, obviously noticing that I'm threatened out by it, but after the Spikes damage, Draco is a guaranteed Oko. So I decided to stay in this time. I don't think he's bringing Scarf Pangoro, and take the risk of him being Assault Vest because he was scared out in the first instance. So and that just straight up takes down Pangoro, which is beautiful to see. Because that thing was a pain in the ass for me to try and switch into. Here it brings in the Abomasnow, getting a little bit of Spikes chip damage, which is nice, and setting up his Hail. So I decided to switch out here because I'm at -2, HP Fire does like 50%, and it's not worth me taking a Blizzard to the face, and go into my Ordino. So you see here, he's going to Mega Evolve and do the things and the stuff. He actually goes for Earthquake, I guess predicting either my Ember or my Crawfish. I did consider running Air Balloon Ember this week to be able to switch in on this thing, but oh, he goes for Earthquake, and the calcs show that this seems to be a max attack Abomasnow. So I do take the hail damage, that's not fun. And here I pull a double, expecting him to have a fire move, because you know, that's why would I not have a fire move, and go into Tyranitar. which gets rid of his hail, which is nice, so I can get a little bit more chip damage on this thing, but he actually stays in and goes for Blizzard, which means I could have just stalled him out with my Ordino, gotten really good damage off with Flamethrower. But in either case, Blizzard didn't do much to me, and after the sand and the spike damage, Rock Slide is a guaranteed OHKO on this, so I have no reason not to click Rock Slide right now. He goes into Rotom, and Rock Slide does a huge amount of damage, confirming that this is a offensive Rotom, not a bulky one. So after the sand damage, it's way below half, and even though I can take a Hydro Pump, I decided to switch into my Latios in case he wanted to burn me, and I wanted to keep Tyranitar at a good amount of HP so it could take on the Chandelure and this Rotom. So going to my Latios, again, sand damage and things is just wearing everything down. We see that he takes sand damage first, confirming that he is in fact Scarf. And here, I believe, I actually pull a double into Quillfish because, again, I'm expecting Clefable, I want to get more hazards up, and he's locked into Hydro Pump because you've seen that he's Scarf. So I do exactly that. I probably should have just gone for Psychic, honestly, because it would have 2-hit carried with Clefable unless it was Spadef. You know, it works going into Quillfish as well. He is forced out by this thing, which makes you think he might not have much defense investment because a defensive Quillfish can't do jack shit to it, although it doesn't know my spread, I guess. I just go for Toxic Spikes here because it's the best way to wear down things like the Chandelure, the Abomasnow. It stops anything from setting up on me. I was more worried about this Slowking being a Carmine variant, which is why I wanted Toxic Spikes up. But it's already switched in now, so there's nothing I can do about it. Here I decided to stay in because I know I can take max special attack Psyshock. He actually goes for Scald, which makes me think that maybe he doesn't have it, or he was predicting something else. He does get the burn, which is unfortunate because I am physical, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Quillfish's main job is to just get up hazards. So here I now have 2 layers of spikes and a layer of toxic spikes, and I decided to just stay in and get up the 3rd layer, because at this point if he has Psyshock he's going to kill me, and Quillfish isn't that necessary because I needed to switch into Pangoro. Pangoro is dead, I needed to set up hazards, and it's pretty much done that. So he brings in the Abomasnow, sets up the Hail, etc. as I just go for my last layer of spikes. Now right here I probably could have preserved differential by going into my Ordino. I'm back at almost full health because of the regenerator, but I decided to stay in and go for the Poison Jab because it should do a really solid amount of damage to this Abomasnow. If I hadn't gotten burned it would kill from this range, but you know. So go for the Poison Jab, and that actually brings him right down into the red, so definitely if I hadn't been burned by a Scald, this thing would be dead, although if I hadn't been burned you probably would have stayed in with Slowking and just kept clicking Scald. So even though he Giga Drains and gets a whole bunch of health back there, that means I had switched into Ordino, who would have got probably more health, because, you know, Ordino has a lot of HP and not great defenses before it Mega Evolves. But here, I can bring in my Tyranitar, and he has no switchings to a Rock Slide, unless Clefable is fully physically defensive. So I go for Crunch. I lied, because I didn't want to miss a Rock Slide, and I thought Crunch would take it out. And I figured if you switched in Clefable, 2 Rock Slides wouldn't take it out anyway. And here it brings in the Rotom, and I'm aware that Latios has been worn down too much, so I can't really freely switch in on this thing anymore, so I decided to just stay in, choose that Hydro Pump, and kill this thing off with a Rock Slide. I don't know why I went for Rock Slide there and Crunch the other time, actually, that makes no sense. But anyway, managed to take out the Rotom, the Tyranitar picking up its 2nd kill already, and now it brings in Clefable, and this is my panic button, because Clefable, if it starts setting up, can be a huge problem, so I decided to go into my Excadrill, because if you predicted it, I can take a Flamethrower or a Fire Blast, unless he's like max special attack Life Orb, and if that's the case, then I could bring back in something else and deal with it that way. He sets up a Calm Mind, and Iron Head, if he's physically defensive, does maximum of 80%, but if he's offensive or Spadef, then it's actually a very good chance to kill. So you see there from the fact that he's like left him about 20%, that he's probably mixed invested, so I do get the flinch, which helps me out with differential, and I'm actually just gonna pause it. So that flinch did matter, obviously, because it's a Clefable at +1. If he had no special attack investment, a Flamethrower would not take me out, a Fire Blast was a small chance, Iron Head was a better chance to take him out if he wasn't physically defensive. If he had mixed EVs, that could have gone really badly my way, because it could have been, you know, +1 Flamethrower was guaranteed, and Iron Head was guaranteed not to take him out, but in any case, if he'd recovered, I would have just killed him without Iron Head. If he'd killed me off, I would have brought in literally anything else to revenge kill it. Not anything, not Ordino. that I could have brought in Tyranitar and avenge killed it at that point, particularly given I knew from that they wasn't fully physically defensive. So that costs Necro 1 differential, but I don't think it would change the game at all. Here I just stay in and go for another Iron Head because like I have no reason to switch out, even though his other two things resist Iron Head. I don't want to let Clefable stay in and heal up, and I honestly thought he'd just sack it off, but instead he goes into Slowking, which takes absolutely nothing from that Iron Head, making me think he's probably Fizz Def. The Sandstorm subsides, and he gets lefties and poison and that kind of thing. So I have worn down this Slowking reasonably well, because now it's down below half. I considered very briefly staying in and going for Iron Head, but decided I want to keep this in case he has Scarf Chandelure in the back. I can still outspeed it and kill it. So switching to my Latios, hoping he doesn't have Ice Beam, and he just goes for Scald, doesn't get the burn, thankfully. So he's slowly getting worn down here, and I run the calcs, and basically, even if he's Spadef, I'm fairly sure a Draco kills at this point. But I'm expecting him to switch out into Clefable, so I actually... do I just Draco? I think I do just Draco, because I thought a Draco would kill it from that range. And he's out into Clefable, but I'm not worried because I'm not choice locked, and I can just click Psychic, and if he switches around a lot between Slowking and Clefable, I will eventually kill Slowking to hazard damage, plus Psychic chip damage, so there's that. So he just stays in with Clefable and lets it die off to his Psychic. I take a little bit of Life Orb recoil to the point where Latios doesn't really want to be taking hits anymore. So he brings in the Slowking, and I'm guessing he's either going to switch out again to try and get another regenerator so he can live a Draco, or he's going to be Spadef and he's going to be at the range where he can live a Draco. So here I just roost up as he slack-offs to get himself back up to full. Luckily for me, with the poison damage, that will drop down a little bit. I wanted to roost there partly to scout and partly so if he's switching to Chandelure and get just damage on it for free, and then be able to switch out to Tyranitar, etc. So here I switch out into my Tita because a Draco won't be taking this thing out, and if he slacks off again, then basically he's going to stall me out with Latios. And he goes for Toxic, which makes me think he doesn't have Ice Beam. It's probably fully physically defensive Slowking, or specially defensive Slowking, I don't really know. The Iron Head roll was too difficult to tell, so... So with the Sand, Poison, and the Leftovers, I know that Crunch is a really good chance to take him out. It's about a 75% chance in my favour, even if he's fully Fizz Def. So I have no reason not to click Crunch, because if he switches in Chandelure, it's dead, and if he stays in, this thing is a 75% chance to die. So and I'd probably take a Scald, honestly, with the Assault Vest, because Tyranitar is just that fat. So down goes Slowking to Tyranitar, giving it its third kill of the match, which puts Tyranitar in a really nice spot in the MVP race, actually, or the Golden Pokeball Award, whatever. So he brings in Chandelure, and I look at the league table briefly and go, if I get a 5-0, I'm on top of the league. I'm going to preserve that differential. I figure he's either going to go for Hidden Power Fighting or Energy Ball. If he's not Scarfed, then Latios can outspeed it next turn and kill it. If he is Scarfed, then he's going to be locked into one of those moves and won't be able to kill my Latios. So he goes for Energy Ball. It would have... I don't think it would have taken out Tyranitar from that range, I'm not sure. I think Energy Ball would have, nothing else would have though, like Shadow Ball, Fire Blast, etc. But he chose these Choice Scarf, he takes Sandstorm down first, and he goes first there. Gets his Spadef drop, which doesn't matter in the slightest, because this Psychic is going to be able to finish off Chandelure from that range of health. And that's the game. We get a really solid 5-0 victory against Necro, Latios and Tyranitar picking up 3 kills each, and Crawfish just setting up all of the hazards. Didn't get to use Flame Charge Ember because I didn't need to, and do the thing. There we go. Didn't get to use Flame Charge Ember. Excadrill got a flinch, and that's all that happened for the match. Or Dino pivoted. Well, that's what it does. So yeah, really solid showing from my team there. Nice 5-0 victory, which, as I mentioned before, hopefully you would have seen the result by now because OnesieBanette has put his video up. But if you haven't, I may have actually spoiled it for you, and I'm sorry. But Sam lost this week, 1-0 to Alex and the AS Monferno, which means that after that 5-0 victory, we are actually top of the fucking league right now, which is just insane. To come up from Division 2, where I came 3rd, I've now beaten one of the people who beat me in Division 2 last season, beaten everyone else in Division 1 except for Liam, and now I'm on top of the league, which I'm not saying it's going to last, but it's nice to have it there as if this thing happened once. So now moving on to next week, Because this is so late, I was actually supposed to battle today, but like I said, because I'm sick, I messaged Sly and said that I couldn't. Depending on how I feel tomorrow morning, I will either get a replacement coach to do the battle for me, or if I'm feeling better, I will just battle myself, which I would prefer to do because I don't want to put the blame on the pressure on someone else. But we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you. I guess I'll let you know when the battle comes out who actually did it. Hopefully it'll be me, but I can't guarantee anything. So, in any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you're fucking rooting for North Melbourne Kangaskhans for the championship this year. We are yet to play both Sam and Schady, who are 2nd and 3rd. So, it's not going to be easy, but we're in a good enough position. So, just gotta hope I win through, basically. In any case, I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you in my next upload.